My name is Rob Short and I'm a Business Development Manager for Rohde Schwarz. Today I'd like to introduce you to the company and tell you a bit about who we are, where we come from, what we do and how we can help you. Rohde Schwarz was founded in 1933 in Munich, Germany. It was created by two best friends who were at university together, Dr. Rohde and Dr. Schwarz. The families of those two men still own the company today, and that makes us completely independent of financial institutions and the market, which makes us a great long-term partner because we can innovate as we see fit. And that's given us a long history of trusted relationships with our customers. See what drives us in this short video. Our revenue now is just over 2.5 billion euros per year, and we're up to 12,300 employees. And as you can see, we're also located in 70 different countries. So we're a very reliable partner for any project you have, even if it's small in your own region or if it goes across the globe into multi-countries. We manufacture our products in our own factories, which gives us a lot of control over quality and makes sure we can meet the exact requirements of our customers. Two of the factories are here in Germany, where I'm located, and one is in the Czech Republic. Rohde Schwarz offers solutions across multiple different business fields. The first on the list here is for wireless communications. So we offer test and measurement solutions for developing mobile phones in R&D and in production. And there's a very good chance that that device in your pocket was tested using our solutions. We also offer solutions to the mobile network operators. So it's possible for them to make sure they have the best coverage to ensure happy customers who get the quality of service they expect when they sign a contract. Interestingly, we also make broadcast transmitters. So digital TV broadcast often comes from our transmitters, and we actually have the most powerful solid state transmitter operating from One World Trade Center in New York. We also have general purpose test and measurement equipment. So whether that's spectrum analyzers, network analyzers, power supplies, oscilloscopes, we can offer something to help you develop any kind of electronic module you might need to test. Next up is aerospace and defense. So we offer secure tactical communications systems and software-defined radios to the military. We also obviously have solutions for the automotive industry, but I'll go across that in the next couple of slides. And the other industries are things like cybersecurity for the IT industry. So whether that's encryptors, VPNs, or firewalls, we have some solutions which could be of interest. Another interesting topic is the topic of smart factories, or Industry 4.0 as it's sometimes called. In this area, we're looking at using 5G communications and private networks, private 5G networks in fact, to connect the robots within a factory. Now we're so interested in this topic that we actually introduced this into one of our own factories to see how it all worked. And we've learned a lot in the process, and it's something I know we can help with, and we're very interested in sharing that knowledge and seeing we can help in your factories. Today we're really here to talk about the subject of mobility. So what does Rohde Schwarz offer for the automotive industry? Well, a few years ago, if you'd asked me, I would have told you that we're mostly known for EMC solutions because we offer full turnkey chambers for every kind of CISPRA standard you need to test, and we're very strong in that market. But actually, as you can see from the list on this slide, we actually have many other areas where we can offer solutions. So let's dig a little bit deeper into these topics. Today's vehicles have a lot of microcomputers in them. So it used to be a case of a couple of simple ECUs for putting the electric windows up or controlling the central locking. But that's changed today. As we move towards autonomous vehicles, we expect to have this very complicated ADAS system which brings together radars, lidars and cameras, which is a whole load of data which needs to get through the car and be processed by very powerful computers. Then you expect to have connectivity. So in a car today, you probably expect to have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth within the car, and then an external connection using 4G and now 5G to make sure we have the best signal possible and the most bandwidth getting to the car. And then there's topics like vehicle-to-vehicle communications and emergency call. These are all coming soon. So it's becoming incredibly complicated, and there's all these ECUs that need to be tested and verified they work together. So let's look into some of those domains in a bit more detail. So radar, you might need to verify the radar is fit for purpose. So does it perform the way you expect it to perform? Does it actually work with moving targets in different locations at different velocities? Does the radome in front of that radar actually impact the performance? For example, you might put the radar behind the logo on your car or actually behind the bumper as we increase the number of radars. And the bumper could affect the performance, whether it's the thickness of the bumper or the color of the paint can even have an impact. And yeah, we have solutions for verifying that kind of performance. And maybe if the radar isn't installed correctly at the end of line of production, then when you ship the vehicle, it might actually have problems when it reaches the customer. So again, that's something that you might want to test at the end of line of production. Next up is connectivity. So here we have eCall, which has been mandated for about 5 years now. So every car today is sold with eCall systems. Now, there's a next generation of eCall coming. Do you know how that works? Do you know how to test LTE? It's packet data instead of circuit switch data. It's different. We have a very good solution for them. We have lots of experience, so I think we can probably help if you're not sure. And then, of course, there's topics like 5G. So 5G is here. We need to start testing for 5G, and we have different solutions for that. And on top of that, you might need to test all of those standards together. So do they impact the performance of each other? It used to be very simple that an OEM could say, hey, ship me some modules, they're tested to a certain standard, we throw them in the car and everything works. It's actually not that simple. There's so many different standards in a car today that you might actually need to find out how they play together. And we've done some interesting work recently in China to show full vehicle testing to see how each of these standards has an impact on each other. Next up is infotainment. So AM, FM radio are still here, people still use them. Now, other people are using satellite radio in their cars. They also might need to test streaming and testing audio and video quality when you're streaming that data. So these are, again, complicated subjects, and there's a whole load of information that we have and can share with you on these subjects. Next up is ECU tests. So it's in two fields here, but we actually have solutions whether you're testing electronic control units in R&D or in production. And in fact, we even use our own production solutions, which you'll find in our factories in Germany. And we actually sell those to customers, and we can offer anything from a full turnkey solution or several parts of that solution. So whether it's testing the wireless standards in a telematics unit, or whether it's just simple in-circuit test, or actually we've offered solutions for anti-lock brake ECUs. So get in contact. We have some really interesting services there. So I touched upon EMC already. EMC is a really key area for us, and we can offer everything from a full turnkey solution for CISPRA testing, including chambers from our partners, down to interferers or signal generators that you might need for testing. And we even make our own antennas for inside the chamber. And there's a whole lot of things you might need to verify for, especially as we move forward with these different standards in the cars. E-mobility is obviously a really big topic these days. So how do you test that? How do you test your battery management systems? How do you test the cell performance? How do you verify the drivetrain? So again, you might need some bidirectional power supplies so you can do load testing and different generations of different voltages. Get in contact. We have solutions in that area too. Now the next two and the last two fields on this slide are slightly interesting, maybe slight curveballs. So I mentioned earlier that we have test solutions which we sell to mobile network operators for verifying coverage and performance of the mobile networks. Now, why is that interesting in automotive? Well, quite simply, as we move to fully autonomous vehicles, you need to start thinking about predictive coverage. So if you send your self-driving car to go and park while you go to a meeting, if it parks in a parking structure and no longer has coverage from the mobile network, and you try and call it to come back to you, it won't come back because it won't get the signal. And as you also have autonomous vehicles downloading high definition maps, you need to know if you're going out of a coverage area. And if you can't actually see the network anymore, will the autonomous vehicle still cope with that? OEMs are also using our solutions for verifying the antennas on their cars. So it's simple antenna isn't the case anymore. It used to be just one cellular antenna. Actually now we move towards things like 4x4 MIMO. So there could be 4 antennas on the car. So where do you place them on the body? How well do they perform in those locations are things you might need to test. The last one here is a very interesting one. So we have drone detection solutions, which there's been a lot of headlines about drones in the last few years interfering at airports, and that's our main market for this product. Finding where the operator is, bringing those drones down carefully so they don't cause problems. So that's interesting, but for the automotive industry, actually it used to be a simple case of at the test track, you have 2 or 3 levels of security, take your car out on the test track and no one can see what you're doing. Today, it's not so simple. People just fly a drone in and they get a high quality video and take some high quality photos and put them on the internet. So you need to protect against that. And a number of OEMs are using our solutions for that very purpose. I talked a bit about the testing you might need to do and where there are solutions. So this slide brings together a picture of the areas we really have different solutions. It's not completely comprehensive, but it gives you a good idea of the kind of things you might need to test. So in the bottom corner, we have things like eCall. So if you need to test eCall, then there are solutions that we can help you with. If you need to test GNSS, we have fantastic GNSS simulators. The box in the middle there is for V2X and 5G communications. So yeah, we're a big player in the mobile phone industry, which definitely helps when it comes to the automotive industry because let's face it, the mobile phone industry is typically a few steps ahead of the automotive industry. ECU production testing, as I mentioned, we have boxes which we use in our own factories, our own production lines, which we actually can sell to customers. And we can offer those as individual boxes or full turnkey solutions to give you help with a production line. And we have some partners in the industry for when it comes to automation and robots, so get in contact. ECU testing, so you might need to do standard digital testing, so testing different digital levels for the buses or actually for connections to the memory or any other part of the digital domain. But also there's these different interfaces like the Automotive Ethernet standard, which has been created to get that data quickly between the different ECUs. We have test solutions in our oscilloscopes. Broadcast, I talked about our broadcast solutions. So whether you need to generate a signal, analyze a signal, receive a signal, check the video quality or the audio quality, then there are some solutions in that box that might be of interest to you. EMC I've already mentioned, we basically have everything you could want for EMC. So sure, you don't need to buy everything in that box. It would make the sales guys happy if you did, but it might just be a case there's 1 or 2 things there that could be interesting. And the last box, the top left-hand corner there, is for radar testing. So 85 gigahertz spectrum analyzer to analyze your radar sensor, or actually looking through the radome performance with that box in the middle called the QAR. Interestingly built on the body scanners that you might have seen if you've traveled through an airport. Not that any of us have been through airports recently, but if you remember, there's these new body scanners, then that same frequency is used for automotive radar and the same technology is used here for analyzing bumpers and radomes. That was my last slide, so thank you very much for listening to me on this pitch for the last 15 minutes. I hope you found it useful and there are some areas where maybe we can help you out and work together. Please get in contact with either Ben, who's the sales manager for the Benelux region, or with me. I'm based in Munich, but I'm always available to help where I can. And soon, hopefully, we can get back to traveling and come back to see you face to face. Thank you.